Hi everyone, this is Annie Williams, and today we're going to create the Springtime Wheelbarrow Thank You card with the Country Road collection from Spellbinders. Now here is the entire Country Road collection, but today we're going to focus on the Country Wheelbarrow die set, and we're going to create the card that is shown on the packaging. So let's get started. I've started by cutting the wheelbarrow body and side panels out of waterfall cardstock, the wheel out of onyx cardstock, the wheel support and the corner edge out of white cardstock, and the wheel edges out of brushed silver cardstock. Now I'm taking some tea-dye distress ink and a sponge dauber and going around the edges of the wheelbarrow body and just adding a little bit of shading around every one of the edges. This brings out the wood grain detail a little bit more, and here I'm doing it to the side panel as well. And it also helps to kind of age it, make it a little bit more vintage, give it a little bit more character. Here I'm doing the wheel support piece as well. To assemble, I'm adding liquid glue to the front side panel first and adhering that on the front. Next I'm taking the corner edge and adhering that on top, and then the wheel support piece. And you can see that there are little embossed lines when you die cut the wheelbarrow body that will show you where to place that support piece. Now once that's adhered, I'm going to work on the wheel. This is the wheel hub, and there are embossed lines on this as well, and you adhere that behind the center of the wheel. You line the spokes up to put the wheel edges on both sides. There are embossed lines on both pieces that will show you exactly where to place it and line it up with the spokes on the wheel. To adhere the wheel to the wheelbarrow body is a little tricky, so I'll show you how I do it here. I adhere the axle to the back support arm first, then I slide the wheel on top, and then I slip the axle behind the front arm and glue that in place too. I adjust the wheel a little bit, add glue behind the wheel, and then adhere that to the wheelbarrow body for the complete wheelbarrow. To create the card front, I've taken pink sand cardstock, trimmed it to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches wide, and embossed it with the Flower Frenzy 3D embossing folder. Next I've cut white cardstock with the Essential Ovals dies, and I'm adding Salty Ocean Distress ink around the top half of the oval. On the bottom half of the oval, I'm adding Mowed Lawn Distress ink. Now we're going to stamp a sentiment from the Welcome Sign and Sentiments stamp and die set onto the lower portion of the oval. Here I've taken Thanks a Bunch, I'm adding VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, and I'm stamping that sentiment in the lower center portion. Now we're going to fill our wheelbarrow with leafy branches and flowers from the Garden Builder die set. I've cut several different leafy branches out of fern and rainforest cardstock for a little bit of variety. I've got some flowers and flower centers cut out of white, persimmon, and pink cardstocks, and the side view flower as well. To assemble, I'm adding tape runner to the back of my embossed panel and adhering this to a top folding A2 sized white card base. Next, I'm going to pop up that center oval panel, just adding a lot of foam adhesive to this, and I'm going to place that oval in the center of the card front. Now to fill my wheelbarrow, I like to work from the front back, so I'll place the flowers and leafy branches that I want in the front of the bouquet, and I'll glue them to the wheelbarrow first. And I'd like to alternate between the lighter and darker green leafy branches, just for a little bit of variety. And I'm building my bouquet from the front to the back, and I'm leaving most of my flowers until the end. I'm going to try to fill the wheelbarrow with the leafy branches first until I get it full enough. And now I'm going to add that back panel. Now you can add the back panel with some foam adhesive first and then fill it with your flowers, but I find it easier to just fill the wheelbarrow and add the back panel last. Next, I've adhered all the little flowers to the top of the bouquet. I've added some foam adhesive to the back of my wheelbarrow, and I'm just going to adhere it to the center of my card front. And the card is complete. Next, I'm going to quickly show you how to assemble the flatbed wheelbarrow. We've added a special cut line behind the front panel on the wheelbarrow body. It doesn't cut all the way through, but if you want to create a flatbed wheelbarrow, You can snip that line the rest of the way, and now you can shove items right up behind that front panel. I've cut the rest of the pieces for the wheelbarrow here, and I'm going to add some tea dye distress ink again around the edges of the wheelbarrow body with a sponge dauber to add a little bit of shading and bring out some more of that wood grain detail. I'm going to do the same with the corner edge and the wheel support. And I'm going to start assembling the wheelbarrow pretty much the same as the traditional style wheelbarrow. We're just going to add the corner edge right there, ensuring that I don't get glue on that bottom portion so that it sticks the wheelbarrow together. We're going to add the wheel support, the same as we would before. We'll assemble the wheel again, lining up those spokes that are embossed onto the wheel edge. Add the wheel hub in the center, using those embossed lines again. And then add the other wheel edge the same way behind the wheel, lining up those spokes to create a perfect 3D wheel. We'll adhere the axle to the back arm first, slide the wheel on over top, and then adhere the axle into the front arm. I'll adjust that wheel, add a little bit of glue behind the wheel, and adhere it to the back of the front panel. Now I've got the seasonal decor die set, and I'm going to cut one of the pumpkins just to show you how it fits on the flatbed wheelbarrow. So I've cut my pumpkin from some orange cardstock, and I'm inking it with a little tea dye distress ink. I'm going to add the little stem to the top, and you can see it fits right behind that front panel perfectly on the flatbed wheelbarrow. Here's the gift box from the same die set, an Easter egg, and the little patchwork heart. So I hope you've enjoyed creating this country wheelbarrow thank you card with me today, and I would love to hear what you think in the comments. All of the supplies I've used are listed in the description below, and I'll be back really soon with more card making videos. Have a great day!